Hi, it's Suli again, and I'm wearing my Star Wars dress because it is May 4th, so may the 4th be with you. I am a geek, so yay. But in terms of the Ehlers Danlos, topic for the day is shed a light on an type of EDS, and I decided to talk a little bit about the two most common types of EDS and compare and contrast them a little bit, which would be the classical EDS and the hypermobile EDS. So the classical EDS has genetic basis on the mutations majorly on call A1 or call A2, and in more rare occasions in the call 1A1, and they have protein involved in those collagen mutations that would affect the type 5 collagen, and the type 1 collagen. So basically, there is genetic testing to collaborate that you do have the classical type, and I will go into the symptoms, the main symptoms, and telltale signs of collagen type of classical EDS. Whereas in this type of EDS, there's more relevance that if you have it, one of your parents, and it's like a 50-50 that passed it on to you. Again, it is based on genetic testing. Whereas hypermobile EDS, we have a clinical panel, and even though the buy-in score could be also used for classical EDS, it is also used for hypermobile EDS to test the hypermobility of your joints. But however, the hypermobile EDS doesn't have a genetic mutation specified as of yet. In my case, I was diagnosed with hypermobile because in the panel of connective tissue genes, I do have two mutations in the MYLK gene and the FBN2 gene. However, they're unverifiable of non-verifiable significance, and therefore they're not directly in the collagen, and so my connective tissue is sucky. But until we specify what genes affects hypermobile, I am in the umbrella of having the clinical diagnosis of hypermobile. So hypermobile EDS is people with hypermobile EDS have joint hypermobility, loose unstable joints that dislocate easily, joint pain and clicking noises. I sound like crack barrel pop, like Rice Krispie, almost all my joints pop and click, and extreme tiredness, fatigue. I do get very tired very easily. Like today, I had 3 hours of physical therapy, and I'm like, what was I thinking? But yes, fatigue. Skin that bruises easily. I definitely have that. If I just get a small little bump, or every time they try to like draw blood from me and everything, I get a bruise. Digestive problems such as heartburn and constipation. Check. I have IBS and several of digestive issues. Dizziness and increased heart rate after standing up. Definitely, I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome as a comorbidity, and it is a pain in the behind, literally, because my heart rate is very unstable from day to day. So definitely. And problems with internal organs such as mitral valve problems or organ prolapse. Luckily, I have not had those issues. I do have a fistula that refuses to heal, And that is one of like the things that could be affected. And problem with bladder control, urinary inconsistence. Now, I do have some bladder control, but I am taking pelvic floor therapy for that. And yes, it's a little bit embarrassing to talk about, but I also have Sjogren's disease or syndrome, and that causes me to have a lot of dry mouth, and therefore I drink a lot of water, and because of the POTS I also have to drink a lot of electrolytes. Therefore I have to constantly be going to the bathroom. So those are one of the things that definitely, these are generalized symptoms that I definitely check all the boxes, and that is why I was, and with a buy-in score of 9 out of 9, I definitely have been diagnosed with hypermobile EDS. However, the classical EDS is less common than hypermobile and tends to affect the skin more. So you still could have joint hypermobility, loose unstable joints that easily dislocate, but however they have more stretchy skin. I have some of the elasticity in the skin, but not as much. In different areas, like the skin can be fragile and easily split open, like in the forehead, in the knees, in the elbows, where the skin is naturally more with more elasticity. Theirs is like way worse. But however, they have a smooth velvety skin that also bruises easily like hypermobile, but theirs tends to be a little translucent, very, very soft, and wounds that are slow to heal and leave white scars. I believe that's not mentioned in the hypermobile EDS, but it's something that a lot of us zebras do suffer from, even if we don't have classical. As you see, this is I got a port because my veins really suck, and therefore the port helps me have a better treatment if I'm ever hospitalized and not blowing IVs constantly. And it's just easy to access. However, look at the keloid scarring that I've developed, and I can show also with the skin sensitivity. I was just, I don't know how to respond to that. Sorry. Okay, so with the tape, it helps keep my shoulder like in place because my shoulder is not working properly. But when I take it off, I have to be very careful because my skin does get marked very easily, and I've torn it before with it. So I am going to include a picture at the end of the video now so that you see how sensitive my skin can be as well, with things like adhesives. So even though that is very common on classical EDS, and it could be even worsening symptoms than what I'm experiencing, I believe that some hypermobile EDS also affects the skin, because again, it's connective tissue and we just have a faulty connective tissue. And one of the last things about classical EDS is that it can provide hernias and also organ prolapse as well. So there are more details if you want to learn a little bit more about classical EDS or hypermobile EDS, which are the two that I've tried to share a light on today. Feel free to go to the Ehlers Danlos Society page. There's lots of information there. And if you know of someone or this sounds familiar to you, make sure that if you have doubts about what you're going through, always the best way to start is to look for a geneticist and see for yourself. But that's it for now. Love you all. Bye.